It's MK and I am back with another May I Scraplift You. I am also joining in celebrating Kathy McElfresh. She is Scrappy Kathy here on YouTube. And we are to scraplift her. We are also to document a first. That is one of the things. She picked this date for a reason. Head out on her channel to find out what that reason was that was making this date so special to her. It's to document firsts. Now, this first is kind of sort of small and minute, microscopic, but when I saw this layout of hers, I knew I wanted to do this layout with these photos and make this happen. So I kind of stretched my first just a little bit. I just knew that I wanted to do it. So this is my first, which is actually, it's my kids' first. This is the first time that they went on a bowling trip with me, and I took them to the Silver Legacy so they could go inside the dome and experience the lightning storm for the first time. So I know I'm stretching it, Kathy. I apologize. But normally, I do not take my children on any of these bowling trips at all. They're so long, they're so intense. I spend the entire time at the bowling center, and so it's very, very boring for them. This is a first for my children. So if that makes sense, if it counts, yay. If it doesn't, Kathy, you can call me and shoot me later, okay? I promise. So a close-up of what I am scraplifting. Look at this. Look at the impactful layout that she has created here. I absolutely love it. I love the ombre behind the color wheel. I happen to have one of these color wheels. So I purchased 2 of these because I fell in love with this design. I've already used my first one. This is my second one. And I've been hoarding it because it's like I've seen so many great ideas out there that it's like, oh, maybe I want to do that. And oh no, maybe I want to do that. There's too many good ideas using this one particular piece of paper. And so I thought, you know what? I'm done hoarding it. I really am. So I'm going to do Kathy's layout using this piece of paper. We won't be using all the little inner bits. So I'll save all of those and maybe create my own. Hey, that'll be fun. So that's that one. And then for my ombre, I chose this gorgeous paper. Now I'm not sure, I haven't decided which way I want it to go. I need to punch out my pieces first and then put the color wheel on top to see if I want green on top or the blue on top. I'm not really sure, but this is from the Sunkissed collection by Cocoa Vanilla. I used it earlier this month for another May I Scraplift You, and the only thing I did was cut off the, it's this piece. Oh my god! I cut off the branding strip and ended up using that little strip on the branding strip rather than this whole 12 by 12. So I have this that I'm going to use. I also have a few pieces from Boys Rule. I have, excuse me, I have my, what is this called? My title is going to be just plain awesome. And then I also have this 8 by 6 piece that came in a kit. And I will be backing some flowers. Yes, I said flowers with this piece. I thought that they went really well with each other. I don't like how shiny this is compared to the paper. But I think the way that it's going to all lay out, I think it'll be just fine. And then I also picked out this sticker sheet. I picked it out originally for this label, but then I saw all these tiny words, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is perfect. I love the no limits, reach for the stars, what the, because that's what my son said actually in the dome. And so it's quite interesting. I also have several pieces that are new to my shop, and when this video goes live, these won't be available yet, but then they will be. So these are new. These are like a sneak peek is going to be new in my shop. So I've got my peonies, Peony 1 and Peony 2, as well as my large open leaf, and then I also have my corner cluster that I will be using, I don't know if I'm going to be using all of them, but I will be using at least one or two or all. Anyways, I also picked out these little sparkles from the Not Just for Boys Kit Club. Now, I'm not really sure if these are like sparkles or, you know, I don't know what they're called, but they're wood and acrylic mixed in one. I love that, you guys. And I love how they match my papers to a T. What else did I pick out? I picked out some vellum leaves. It's a really old, close to my heart thing. I had 4. There it is. So I picked out some of those. Again, I just kept picking out and picking out and picking out. I also have these enamel dots. I tried to use them once before, and then I set them off like 3 inches this way and totally spaced that I was supposed to use them. So we'll see if we do. I'm not really sure. And then I have these. These are all just scraps left over from projects like yesterday, the day before, last year, things like that. And they just get collected. So I've got 2 little border strips. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet, but they're the right color and theme of what I'm trying to portray in my layout, as well as these pieces here. This piece was an accident that I cut. I cut it too wonky and it messed up, so I ended up with these 2 really cool circles. I don't know what I'm going to do with these just yet. But in Kathy's, she took a paper and punched out what looks like starbursts. And I believe that that is also from a Schmel paper. I don't have that paper, so there it is. And then she also backed it, or she die cut it. Oh, sorry, I'm staring. She die cut it out with a cross, it looks like a cross-stitched die. That's super cool. I need to get me one of those. That's pretty. And so I pulled these out thinking that I will use a punch to punch circles out of my scrap circles. Again, they all kind of just match the color of what I'm doing, but I don't know if I'm going to use these or if I'm going to use the flowers. So I'm not really sure exactly yet. I showed you my 2 photos. And then I have these puffy stickers, which I have no idea. I've never heard of HP Moment Makers puffy stickers. I mean, it's, oh, okay. So Paper House is an official partner with HP. Isn't that super cool? I didn't know that. So I received these as a gift from State Goddess over here on YouTube. And I thought I'm going to throw a camera or 2 on this layout as well. So again, I massively went overboard with the supplies that I'm going to be using for this one particular layout. I mean, seriously, I'm going to be shocked if I manage to get all of these things on one layout. So the first thing I'm going to go do is alter all of these, because the whole point of these and why I created them was to back them with paper. And so I left them really wide and really open, so that way they could be backed with paper. I did it last month on one of my April Fooled You videos, and it was very intriguing, the responses that I got. And so I thought, oh my gosh, that's like perfect for me to create some of these images that can be backed, and then you'll have either the wood grain or you can use mixed media. I happen to actually be using mixed media today, so I'm going to turn my wood pieces into black little stripes. So in case you guys missed the intro, they are wood and they will be black. All right, so they're not going to be acrylic, I promise. They're wood. So anyways, I'm going to get started and get going. Hopefully this is enough paper to back my flowers with. My leaves will get something different. Oh yes, I should have plenty of paper for my flowers, and then I will find a different paper somewhere in this range for my leaves. All right, let's get going. So the first thing that I decided to do was punch out all of those colorful pieces from the color wheel. Now, I definitely had no clue that it was going to be this time consuming and this difficult. I just expected them to fall out, I guess, wishful thinking. Anyways, I went to go get a little bowl to contain all of these little things in. So that way I could possibly use them on another page. Now, my brain was thinking the whole time I was knocking all these out, was how awesome it would look to be on a black background. I just kept thinking how beautiful they would look because of how colorful, how bright they are is basically where I'm going. So there it is. It's the end. I cut it all out because it was very time consuming. Now I'm just trying to decide whether or not I want the black on, or the blue on the top, or the green on the top. Now, I instantly put the blue on the top because my photo that is going to be at the bottom is going to be blue. But I wanted to check it and see which way do I like it. And no, I like the blue on the top. Because the blue photo down at the bottom just kind of sort of blends in slightly if I had the blue at the bottom. So, and then I decided instead of punching my holes or punching my circles, I'm going to back my photos with these round pieces. And then that way I had a photo mat already picked out as well. Yay! So I went ahead and I did that off camera. No need to watch that. And so I thought that, really quickly, I think way too much in this video, by the way. Really quickly, I am going to lay out all of my pieces to see, how many of these pieces need to be sprayed black, and then how many of these pieces, are we going, am I going to need, and how is it going to look? So I like to know that first before spraying something, especially using mixed media, and then that way I don't have to feel like I wasted it, and then I'm kind of stuck with how else it's going to be used. So I put my original piece, I put my corner piece down at the bottom because I thought that that's exactly where I wanted it to go. That was it. I was like, oh, that's where I want it. And so I started layering some things up and, trying to make another, little cluster. And then the more I played with it, the more I was like, well, it looks exactly like the one down at the bottom. I don't want that. Yeah, or I would go get 2 of these, right? I don't want that. So what does it look like if I put the leaves or the flower clusters in the corner of the photos? Like it's making its own corner. So let's see what that looks like. And then, basically flip the exact way that I was thinking my layout was going to go. That's basically what it was. And I definitely wanted to soften the wood pieces by having these vellum pieces kind of tucked in here and there. I didn't necessarily think I was going to use these pieces, but I wanted to bring them in. I'm trying to bring in another leaf, and then the more that I kept bringing in another leaf, the more I was like, it just looks too similar to the larger piece that I am using. So, nope, I'm not going to do it. I think I'm just going to use the single flower, the single leaf, and then the corner cluster. And that's it. I don't think I'm going to use anything else. I'm still trying to play around with how I want it to look first before making that final decision. So, and of course, by the time that I actually get done with, altering everything and getting my flowers painted and backed, then I totally forget how I am going to do any of this stuff. Just to let you know. See, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with it. I was like, yay, let's go. Here's my mixed media box. Put these in here. Let's spray these things. Put that off to the side. And when I bring it back, I'll have no clue. Nope, none whatsoever. So when I spray in this smaller box, I do hold it up. For one, the sprays work much better, held almost straight up. If you're trying to spray and having them lay down, the liquid goes to the side of the bottle and the tube goes to the bottom of the bottle. And so it's barely picking up anything. So I like to lift my boxes up slightly and then spray. I know it's kind of weird, but they do tend to spray a lot better. And then of course I let them dry, and now I am putting glue. Now I'm gluing everything. Everything that I think is part of the flower is going to be getting glued, only because of the fact that I don't know how this is going to look. Honestly, I do let that sit and dry though. I don't, I definitely don't cut it right away because it would have just been a disaster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off all of those little nubbins that are from the punched out pieces. Yes, I'm going to cut them all, and it just looks so much better. Well, then when I came back, I decided that I was going to have my ombre piece at an angle instead of straight up and down. I kind of like it a little bit better. It wasn't a happy accident. It was actually more of, I need a way to get some of that green to use for the leaves. Now, how can I do that? And when I place it down at an angle, I am going to be able to cut the two green corners off and have just enough of this paper left over to back my leaves. So yes, it's a twofold. Plus, I like it. I like it a lot better at that angle than I do at the, than I do straight on. I really do. I like it a lot, actually. And especially the way that the photos go. So before I commit and push down, I am going to, place my photos down one more time. Excuse me. And then I'm going to cut my blue pieces just straight off. I'm okay with not cutting them at a round corner because I wasn't needing those, actually, to be honest. But the round ones, I'm going to come in, or the green ones, I'm going to come in and cut off as close to my double-sided tape as possible. So then that way I have enough green left over to glue my wood pieces down and be able to cut those down. Now, when I cut these pieces away from my wood, basically what I'm doing is I'm cutting just enough away because my scissors and the wood pieces are too thick. So I'm cutting just enough away. Now, I don't cut, you guys. I don't show you guys how I cut or anything. But basically what I did was I cut close enough to where I didn't have a big, huge piece of paper to cut off. And then I took what is called finishing files and filed the paper over the wood piece. And that is exactly what I did in this process. So, and then I did purposely break off that leaf, the stem of the leaf, so I could tuck it in closer to my flower. I also, in the process of creating my corner cluster, or backing my corner cluster, I actually cut or broke off one of the leaves. So it is a little bit delicate, but I'm going to glue it right back together, and only those of you that know that I did that will be looking for it. In all honesty. And I absolutely love how all of these came out. Now, the way that I glued the leaves down on the green paper is I tried to put the darker part of the green closest to the stem. And then that way the tips of the green were that neon green. The tips of the leaves, not green. Anyways, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. So I am gluing down just a little bit at a time. I glued the bottom photo down first, and then the upper photo I accidentally put in the wrong spot, so I was just trying to rub off my adhesive from the photo. And like I said before, I am not gluing my my flower exactly where I had it at the very beginning of the way that I liked it, but that's okay. I do end up still liking this angle very, very much. I really do. I the whole time I'm like, oh my gosh, this might be my new favorite layout until I make the next one. I really enjoy how this layout turns out. So just holding it down a little bit longer than I normally do. This process is pretty fast as far as the gluing goes. It's more the decision making that takes forever. And I wanted this vellum leaf to be tucked in to where the end of it is hidden by something. And I thought that the leaf stem would be perfect for it to hide, so that way it's not tucking under too much, but it's not sticking out to where it just looks like I randomly stuck it on my layout. So just trying to, make it look, I wouldn't say realistic, but no. And then I do plan on putting Awesome right above the center point on the color wheel. And then I do need to pop it up in some places because it is going to be resting on the wood piece at the very end of it. So, and I'm just going to randomly put some glue down. I don't know exactly where the glue will hit the flower, but I do know that a little bit of it will be hitting the flower and sticking a little bit. So, and I am using my thicker foam pieces that I get. I actually get them in my Creative Cuts Club boxes. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. I've heard that they could get those at the dollar store, but I'm not really sure. We don't have one. So I don't know. Adding a few pieces that I'm taking from this sticker sheet that I didn't know I was going to use until I started using them. Yep. And then I remembered I had other things to add to the layout. I almost forgot these again, you guys. I did. They were underneath everything. So I wanted to take this camera. This is the first camera that I wanted, and I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to place it, and then I decided to put it above the photo on the right. And then I'm going to add another one here down at the bottom. And then, of course, later, I decide I don't like it there. Yep, that's just me. I'm going to put these sparkles from the Not Just for Boys Kit Club all over the layout. And while I am putting them over the layout, I'm deciding whether or not I want to leave them as raw wood like they are, because I do kind of sort of like it, especially since I'm using kind of a gray white camera down here. And so I thought about it. I was like, do I want to leave these? And the whole time I'm thinking spray them black or leave them raw. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to find a new home for this camera. I didn't really like exactly where it was, but I did like where it was, if that makes sense. I liked it, but I didn't like it. And so when I overlapped it with the flower, I liked it even more than when I just stuck it to the photograph. So, yep. And then I'm going to tuck a sparkle underneath the camera really quickly. And I took out the pieces from the yellow that went. I just basically kept all the teal and the natural wood pieces. I didn't want to add yellow to this layout at all. I love how two-toned it really is. So I am not going to, to put any of those yellow sparkles on my layout. And then at this point, I was going to put the natural wood back into my teal pieces. And then I thought about it and I was like, nope, I want them to be black. I don't want to add another color as much as I should have. I do like it on the camera here. It actually looks like they're white, but they're not. They're actually a natural brown color of a really pretty wood. I do enjoy the wood that the Not Just for Boys Kit Club uses. Wish I knew what kind it was, but that's okay. I like how pale it is, actually, to be honest. So anyways, it does take a little bit for me to hold the glue down on the acrylic pieces. The wood pieces, not so much, but when it comes to acrylic, I just feel like there's not an instant stick like the other pieces have. Like they don't have any grit to them to stick to. So, but that's okay. It just takes a few extra seconds to hold down the acrylic pieces. And then I'm going to change my marbles and decide that it is going to, the other pieces are going to be black. So I am going to grab my spray box really quickly. So then that way I can, I'm still debating. I don't know if I was trying to be lazy and not do them or actually seriously debate on whether or not I liked it with the raw wood. But do end up spraying them, and then of course I have to let them dry just a hair, and then I'm going to take my adhesive and just smack them inside or outside depending on where they went and what they were for. I love this touch, you guys. The whole time I'm sitting here going, this is such a pretty layout. I really like this layout. So I cannot thank Kathy enough. I've had the pleasure of going to a retreat with Kathy one time. I'm so super stoked with her milestone that she has reached. And I absolutely, her style is just so far out there that every time I see one of her layouts come across my Facebook feed or my Instagram feed, I just smile. It is just so
phenomenal seeing her work that she does. It's great. If you guys haven't checked out Kathy's channel or any of her social media, you guys really should. It is definitely a unique style, and I absolutely love it. I actually met her during March, which is Calvin Ball, and that will change anybody's style, let me tell you. All right, so I am adding some enamel dots, and my puppies are hearing people moving around on the outside, so I apologize for the background noise if you hear any. Gluing my camera down because when I lifted it back up, it kind of sort of lost a stick. So I am going to hold it down just a little bit so it can get past the spray to glue down. And that is it. I will be adding my journaling around the corner just like Kathy did. But this is it. This is my layout. I do enjoy how it turned out. Thank you so much for watching and joining. Be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with May I Scraplift You, as well as Kathy's 1K subby milestone. All right, I will check you all later. Bye.